It's Tuesday. It's Mark Pyers. And it's Real Talk.
I was walking down the road today, looking for another way
to ease my mind
and help my living.
It's Real Talk. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pyers Real Talk. I'm here to help you make smarter moves, to amplify your current state. And I'm here with you on Tuesday, day 407 in a row of the Real Talk program. And might as well just get into it a little bit. I was in the city, you guys may have seen. I was down at Arlene's Grocery today, and we had a new artist. This is a really cool thing for me because anytime I have a new artist sit on the beat seat, it's an opportunity for me to hear from somebody who's in the game. And today we had Darnell Hilton. And basically, he sat on the beat seat. I had a sound check with him. And in the sound check, if you watch this, he goes, oh yeah, I need one of these. So we finish up. Afterwards, I said, how did you like the low end? He goes, I got to have one. What can you do? I said, I'll start building it tonight. Which one do you want? Go to the website. He opens up the website. He sees the Cherry Sunburst beat seat. And he goes, that's mine. I want that. I want the Cherry Sunburst. I said, I'll do one better. I'll build you one, and then we'll call it your model. Because right now we have the white oak and maple model is the Carrington Brown. Carrington loves that beat seat. So I've made it his model. And I think we should have the same thing. When artists like a specific model, I'm going to call it their model until I come up with a new one. And Jim DeCola from Gibson Guitars, the ones who gave me the idea of the Sunburst for a beat seat. I got to thank him. He's a genius. He's actually the master luthier at Gibson Guitar. And he said, you know what? It would be really cool to see your beat seat in a Sunburst. I was like, what? And since then, now it's like the thing. I mean, do you see this thing? Look at that. That's the one on the right is the Cherry. That's the one that he was like, I got to have that one. And the one on the left is my version. That's the singer-songwriter version. That is the Sunburst beat seat. We're going to rock out on that tonight because I met some amazing people at Arlene's Grocery. And I actually had a chance to run my buddy Dave. Dave is the one who's made all this possible. He loves the beat seat, and he's been extremely supportive, and he just keeps opening doors. He's HER's production manager. And so he introduced me to a lot of other people today, a lot of them that I actually knew through people when I was in the game myself. And so it was a pretty cool thing because we were talking about how the beat seat's going to change things for live performers. And I just realized, you know how you get a product out there? Do you know how you get anything out into the marketplace? You got to get out there and you have to network. You got to get off of your chair and get out there and be a part of it. Aranyak, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining on Instagram. I would love for you to head over to YouTube and subscribe and ding the bell over there. So who's on with me on Facebook? Who's on with me at Twitch? All over the place. Listen, I could have walked away after this one show I did earlier, Zabrowski. I could have just gone home and said, I did a live. I went live from New York City for 8 minutes. That's a real talk. But I'm driving. I'm on my way home, and I'm saying to myself, you know what? I have more to talk about. Yeah, I should go home and get some rest. I got a busy day tomorrow, real estate afoot. But real talk needs to happen. I think I need to let a little bit more out. And I had a question that was laid out in my stories yesterday. I said, what kind of topics are you guys into? What do you want to hear? And Mark got back with one. He said, talk about politics. Just kidding, because he knows I don't want to do that. He said, how about negativity at home? I'd like to hear about that. How do you navigate that? So I think this is a good opportunity for us to talk about it. I stop here on the way just to explain to you, when you are in a negative environment at home, what can you do? There's a few things that I would say right off the bat. First of all, we're living in 2020. What I like to do is put a mirror right in someone's face when they're acting a certain way. What do I mean by that? Well, if someone's going to act a certain way, film them. Put them on camera. Let them do what they're doing and get that moment where what, are you filming me? Yes, I'm filming you. Look what you are. Look what you're being right now. How would you react if I was acting that way towards you. Very easy. That's one thing I would do. That's using technology against people. The other thing you could do is get up and walk out of a room. You know, we are very emotional human beings. We react. We're like very reactionary. And then afterwards we're like, geez, you ever written a text and you sent that text and you're like, oh, I should have read it again one more time and maybe changed the entire thing. That happens a lot. You know, you want to make sure that you are always thinking before you send something off, before you call someone and say something. You want to make sure you've thought about those words. Don't just let come out. So anyway, this was a very exciting day to go down, sat down with this great drummer. And right after he gets off this, he goes, how do I get one? I need to get a beat seat. And this is the response I want to hear from people. When I give them the drum to sit on for the first time, I want to get some sort of response. And when I see I got to have one, how can I get one? That's the ultimate response. And he was like, look, I'm going to play with this exclusively, just like Carrington. I'll promote it. You know, I'll go out and anytime we use it, I'll take photos and get them over to you. Because realistically, I think what people need to see is other artists on the beat seat, not me. Well, they don't need to see me on the beat seat. I've done enough of that. I do it every single day. I rock out on that thing. All right. But we need to see Carrington Brown on the beat seat. Do you guys see Carrington Brown's? I wonder if I can upload Carrington Brown's video so tomorrow you guys can see this, because I'm not really sure if that works. You know, I'm not really sure if we can get that video on here for you to see. But anyway, so listen, back to what I'm saying. When you have negativity at home and you're trying to figure out how to navigate the situation, you have to explain how you're feeling. I think what the problem is mostly is we point fingers. As you know, in any situation, we're used to just telling people what they've done wrong in order to get an effect instead of try to continue a conversation. So what I'd say to you, my friend Mark, the best way for you to create more harmony, I would say, at home is to be more open with your feelings. Explain to your spouse, to whoever it is, if it's your brother, explain to them how they make you feel. I think that's a good way to go about it. You know, this is how I'm feeling right now, and I don't like it. I want you to know how I'm feeling. And Cross, what's up, buddy? But that's what I think you need to do, is you need to always be open with your emotions. That's what happens a lot when there's a toxic home environment. It's because people aren't saying how they feel. They're hiding behind something and they're expressing it through anger instead of just openly, honestly having a conversation. So I think that's the best thing you can do to try to navigate negativity at home. That's my perspective on the matter. The more open conversation you have and communication you have, then the better off you're going to be. I'm getting a million messages over here, so I'm not able to read everything sideways. But anyway, that's the question I got. The other one I got was a couple people asked for me to talk more about sports, which is interesting because, I mean, I don't really know that much about sports. I don't watch TV. But I would say that if I'm going to watch something, it's going to be sports. And I don't really have a favorite sport. I do like, and it's kind of silly to say this, when I was a kid, I could never watch golf. But I can watch golf now. Isn't that crazy? I can't see without my glasses right now, Cross. I'm not able to read that. But listen, guys, I want you to continue to send in questions, and I'll continue to chat about topics you'd like me to talk about. And this was, again, a really cool day. I just wanted to stop on the way home quickly and tell you how cool it was to be able to bring another beat seat down to a new artist who's going to be playing the beat seat. And so basically that's what all I have to say. Posy, what's up, buddy? I got my Posy friend over here on Instagram. Posy, I hope you'll go over to YouTube and subscribe and ding the bell over there, because that is where the show goes. And listen, I'm going to play you guys a quick song on the beat seat, and then I'm going to get home. But I did want to just stop in quickly and go live. I figured, why not? Come in from New York City and just put on a quick show on the beat seat. So since I was at Arlene's Grocery and I had to watch people play music, I like to play. Guys, I want to get at least one song in. There's got to be at least one song every day on the beat seat. So let's see what we got. You guys ready for this? All righty. Sorry. I don't know if that made noise or not. All right, so let's get something rocking here. Stuck in a tough situation, kicked out with nowhere to go. My mind doesn't know hesitation, but I learn real fast, 'cause they're tearing the roof off my shoulder. Bound like a madman, got nothing to lose, got nothing to gain. When I felt that last drop of rain, sing, 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 rain, rain, go away, come back another day. Cry like the oceans, the water and sand. When I felt that last droplet of rain, you feel my pain, feel my rain. Stuck in the with nothing to lose, I got nothing to gain. When I felt that last droplet of rain, 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 rain. Sing, 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 rain, rain, go away, come back another day. Cry like the oceans, the water and sand. When I felt that last droplet of rain, won't you feel my That was the first song I ever wrote, where I wrote the lyrics first and then wrote chords to go to the lyrics. Most of the songs I write, I come up with the chords, and then I'll improvise lyrics until I find a song, or I'll just come up with a song in real time, and that's the song. But Rain was one of the first poems I wrote. Rain, rain, go away, come back another day, cry like the oceans, the water and sand. When I felt that last droplet of rain. I always liked that song, and I don't really play it very often, but I figured I'd play it for you real quick. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I'll play you one more, and then I'll get going. Share this bond that we've never felt before, and I know I'll be with you until the end. And this cloud that we float upon hopefully will never burst, leaving water to trickle down from my eyes and stay with me. Be my best friend, hold me dear, be my love. Take my little life, hold me in your hands, my love, I'm in your hands. And this cloud that we float apart hopefully will never burst, leaving water to trickle down from my eyes. And this world of mine, it hopefully will intervene, where the angels they gather round to speak the truth. And take me now, take my whole life in your arms, be my love, and be my little light, and hold me in your hands, my love, I'm in your hands, my love, I'm in your hands. And that's it. It's another one I wrote probably in about 2002, maybe 2002, 2003. I wrote that song. So that's basically it for me tonight, guys. Just want to come on and play a little for you. Steven, Michael, did you see I went into that topic you wanted me to talk about? The reverse, what do we call it again? It's over here. I still have it over here. The acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. And I do believe that to be true, my friend, because accepting anything is a positive experience. Acceptance is positive no matter how you look at it. You're accepting something. You're not saying, no, I disagree. That didn't happen. I flat out, hold on, let me turn this. You know what I'm saying? So yes, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience, because anything that is considered acceptance to me is a positive experience. It's a positive thing that you're looking at it, like Dr. Wayne Dyer said, changing the way you look at it, in order to look at it differently, so to speak. But I don't know if that's necessarily the entire description, because if you read further in here, it says a lot more. Good shepherd, my people. Okay, so here's Good Shepherd wanted me to talk about sports. Let me just say this about sports, my friend, and thank you. I'm glad you liked those songs. I really appreciate it. Mark, my buddy Mark is on right now, and Michael and all these people are on, and I love it. And I'm not going to be on for very long, guys. I do have to get going. As you can tell, at least it's before 11 still. Driving back from New York City, and I was like, I got to at least do a real talk for a few minutes here. And we had a bunch of topics come in, how to deal with negativity at home, how to navigate that in order to try to get people to be living on more of a level ground. I'm not going off of experience. I'm just saying how I think it could be a good thing. You know, you have tech now, so you could film as someone when they're being a certain way and just be like, look, this is how you're being, and stop being this way. And if your brother is being a certain way, you can let them see how they're being, and then express that they're making you feel a certain way. Don't point fingers as much. That's what people typically do. And when it comes to sports, my friend, I'm a Giants fan, a Yankees fan, and a Michael Jordan fan. That's why I said, like, the whole thing that happened with Kobe Bryant was a very tragic thing. And it was more of a shocking thing because it's just somebody who is out of press. It's like the top of a mountain. You're like, everybody in the world knows that person, and then all of a sudden they're not here anymore. So that's the shock of it. But realistically, I've always said that there's one greatest of all time that I know of. It's Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. I think that there's some great players since. I think that LeBron James is a phenomenal athlete. He's a great basketball player. He's the best. He's the greatest of all time in this generation. But there's only one, to me, greatest of all time, and it's just Michael Jordan. The way that dude would float through the air. People would go up in the air at the same time as him, and for some reason, they're all on the ground. I look up, and he's still up there. I'm like, how did that happen? How did he defy gravity? Who used to watch Michael Jordan games like I did? I used to just watch him. My jaw would be on the ground. And I'd just be like, how did he, like, did you guys remember it was like the finals, and he does this like across we all tried the shot, right? When I was young, it was like the shot we all tried. You dribble across the middle, fading, and he never missed. You know, it was always like there's 5 seconds left, put it in Jordan's hands. And then everybody else does the same thing. I'll put it in Kobe's hands, put it in Steph Curry's hands. But I'll tell you what, guys, if you never had a chance to watch Michael Jordan play, all that stuff is still on YouTube. Just go and watch. Just go and watch. There is so much content of Michael Jordan just being like his airness, they used to call him. This dude, he was the first guy to fly from the foul line. And he looked like he was up there for a lot longer than these guys. Like some of these guys do it, and I'm like, that wasn't the foul line. They're running so fast that it's just like, zoom, boom. Yes, I jumped from the foul line. But that dude used to like, I don't know. There was something about him. He was just poetic. Everything about the way he moved. The tongue would come out of his mouth. It was artistic to watch Michael Jordan. That's the difference. You know, you see someone like LeBron James, he's just so powerful. He can take anybody on and he'll score. He's going to bring you to the hole. He can shoot. He can do all those things. But Michael Jordan, he'd just be right in your face and just fade away and just like hang in the air. And it's just like, it was just poetic to watch it. It was artistic. That's what it was. He was an artist. That's the difference. He's an artist. Does anybody else agree with that? Oh, Good Shepherd said he thinks, too, that Jordan was the greatest of all time. You know, it's hard. People who didn't see Jordan and see only LeBron just, like, don't get it. And this is the thing. If you watch old footage of Jordan, because this has come up many times with Jordan, he laughs about this question. He's like, you can't say this. You can't say who the greatest of all time is. And I love his reasoning. He said, I didn't get to play against Bill Walton. I didn't get to play against LeBron James at my prime. You know, like you can't say who was the best because everybody is at a prime at a different time. Even when Jordan played against Kobe, I don't think Jordan was in his prime at that time, was he? Kobe was like a kid, so he wasn't in his prime. It was like, you know what I mean? It was like they never were on level footing with anybody. So you can never say, now I know Jordan never scored 70 points in a game. Kobe did that, right? 73, I think. Look, I think there's no way to debate that. Okay, Michael says he saw MJ play at MSG. I saw Michael Jordan play in Philadelphia against the Sixers in probably 86 or 87, okay? That was when he was like the man. And my brother was the biggest Michael Jordan fan. And that may have been part of the reason why I was a big Jordan fan. Like, you always look up to your brothers when you were a kid. And so I was a huge Jordan fan as well. But then once you saw the dude, there's no way to not be a Jordan fan, you know? We all had the Jordan Jammer. You guys remember the Jordan Jammer? Oh my goodness. We had the Jordan Jammer in the garage. And we used to basically like put on dunk competitions at 5'5" or whatever it was. 6 foot, I think, was max. And we have video of this stuff where we're doing like, oh, kiss the rim. There's a funny video I have over on TikTok of me doing a kiss the rim. And the tagline is, yeah, this is a 10-foot hoop. It's like a 7'8" hoop or like 8 feet. Like, I could never do that, you know. I'm on 8 and it makes it look really cool when you do it in slow motion. But realistically, it's just like, some of these people are so good. But I'll say this. I stopped watching basketball when Michael Jordan retired. I just lost interest in the sport. I don't know. Who else had that? Who else lost interest with basketball or with a sport when their favorite player decided to retire or had to retire because they just didn't have it anymore? Who lost their interest in that sport? Hockey, baseball, basketball, whatever. It happened for me with baseball too for a long time. I was a huge Don Mattingly fan. When Don Mattingly retired in 95, I didn't watch really this following season when the Yankees won the World Series. I didn't watch that season, even though I used to watch all the games when Mattingly was on the team. I stopped watching the season they won. I think I watched towards the playoffs, obviously. But all I could think when they were in the playoffs and when they won that championship is, I can't believe Don Mattingly wasn't on that team. He didn't win a championship. He was on that team for all those years, and then he retires and they win the next season. It's like, oh. You know, that's a guy who should have won one championship. My favorite player ever, Don Mattingly. Now, was he the best? No. He was my favorite. I loved his batting stance. Again, artistic. I always gravitate towards artistic performers, whether it's on a basketball court or it's on a stage, wherever it is. I'm really gravitating towards anything that just looks poetic, I guess. I like to be entertained. I think that's what it is. I don't want to watch a bland basketball player. Who wants to watch Dikembe Mutombo all day? No. I want to see like Hakeem Olajuwon just moving in through. Like, you want to see someone who's elegant, right? You want to see something that just looks, it makes you feel something when you're watching it. Do you guys ever watch Allen Iverson cross people over? That was pretty sick stuff to see. This dude would be like, he'd be like, what? He crossed Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was like, fell on his backside. And is all over him. They still talk about it. That's like a play that people still talk about. When Allen Iverson crossed Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, the guy I think is the greatest of all time. Listen, here's the other thing about that. Just because you're the greatest of all time doesn't mean some young, some hotshot young kid can't come and just school you one day, especially when you think you are the greatest of all time. I can tell you that was the one thing about Jordan that may have been, that was what made him amazing, is that he had such a competitive spirit. He was a trash talker, and he was talking trash to Allen Iverson, who absolutely was probably the biggest Jordan fan growing up. So this was a weird thing for Iverson. And Iverson at first was starstruck. And then when Jordan started doing that to him, he was like, I got nothing left to lose. And he's like, I'm going to try I have this play. I have this thing I used to do. I'm going to try it on Jordan. And that was the first time I think he realized how powerful that crossover was, because he got the greatest basketball player that he ever thought played to fall. Think about that for a second. You have something in your arsenal that can disarm the greatest of all time. What kind of confidence would that give you? It gave Allen Iverson all the confidence in the world. Allen Iverson was a great player. I mean, again, there's a lot of really, really good players that have come along before and then after Jordan. And Shaquille O'Neal, you got to talk about him. This guy was a force to be reckoned with. When Michael Jordan retired, went to play baseball for a few years, Shaquille O'Neal dominated basketball for like a 10-year period. And when Jordan tried to come back, he was Jordan still, but he was not the same Jordan, where Shaquille just became like even more powerful. I never had a chance to see him play, but nobody could stop that dude. Nobody could stop Shaquille O'Neal. All right, listen, I got to finish this up. I will be back with you guys tomorrow for day 408 in a row. So if you have any more topics, let me know. We took care of these for you today. And sports is, I guess, out of the picture. Look, I'm happy to talk about sports. I just don't really have that much that I can add. I think that everybody's overpaid for what they do. They work half of a year and they make $30 million. And most of them don't appreciate the fans. That's what I see. I think most of them take for granted what they have. And they're doing, a lot of them are doing it for the money and no longer for the love of the game. That was the difference between now and when I was a kid, when people loved the game before that time. You know, some of the greatest players of all time made basically nothing playing the sport. Mickey Mantle, you know, like maybe he did towards the later end of his career, but these guys didn't make a lot of money playing baseball. That happened in our generation. It was Scott. What's that guy? Scott Boras. Then Scott Boras came along. All of a sudden, everyone's paying $50 million to get, you know, somebody on the field for 4 years, for 5 years. Oh, you want that guy? It's $500 million. What? $500 million? Yeah, that's the going rate. Really? That's the rate? Yep. It is now. It used to be like $5,000. Like, I mean, they used to make money, but it wasn't the money that even close. Even the stars. I bet you the stars made less than the guys who are nothing make now. That's probably accurate. Someone should probably check that and see what they used to make. Like, what did Roger Staubach make on a good season? And then what's like the scrub on the New York Giants make per year? Now, 2020. Oh, number 47, player number 45, however many players are on a team, he makes $450,000 a year. I don't think they make less than that. So say $450. Yeah, Staubach made $225 for his best season. I don't know. Someone check that for me. Google search what Staubach made on his best season, and then what the lowest paying player in the NFL makes today. It's probably like an XFL to the old school, you know. Anyway, listen, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. And I hope you had a chance to watch that clip earlier from Arlene's Grocery. You can check out the Beat Seat. It's in action. And another artist going to be purchasing a Beat Seat to start incorporating it into their show. Loving it. I got to tell you, I haven't had anybody yet play it and say, man, I don't like it. Everybody who sits on it says, I got to have one. The bass on that thing is insane. I mean, the room was shaking. My phone didn't pick it up. I realized that. I listened to it afterwards, but that room was shaking. It's craziness. Cross, I appreciate you, buddy. And you were on during the live, and you were on New Year's Eve. I dropped that. Guys, I'm dropping another podcast every single day. There's going to be a new podcast. Every single day, new podcast, okay? Just like there's a show here live, video. You can walk through the city. You can get in your car, take a drive, and pop on any podcast network and find the Real Talk Show. It's free of charge, and every episode will be there. Now, I'm doing something kind of cool right now because I have got a lot of episodes that I haven't dropped. So I'm just going to be dropping randoms right now. Like I dropped New Year's Eve. I'm going to just pick another random one out tonight and drop it again for you for tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe to your favorite podcast platform because every day there's a new Real Talk for you. You will never run out of content, okay? I promise you that. Just going to keep dropping it for you. MLD, how are you? So, listen, I will see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you. Remember, smile. Smile more. Give your smiles to people. That's how you make people happy. And that's how you make yourself happy. I will see you tomorrow. As per usual, day 408. I'll see you. It's Mark Myers. And it's Real Talk.